So we're about to see the Republicans in Congress and in the Senate start to back away from Trump. They've got a year to do it, and they're going to start as soon as they can. He can't even get them to kill the filibuster right now. But between just him being Trump, but the message that was sent from the election the other day, it is very apparent that people are done with Trump. And we have the midterms next year. These people want to keep their jobs. And I knew it was a matter of time before they would start moving away from him. But that's part of why he throws out the I'm running for 2028. That's what those hats are about, is to make it look like he's going to continue to have power all the way through and maybe even through 2028. But we know mentally and physically that's not even a possibility. He's taking IQ tests, right? Tiger. That was such a red flag for everybody. I think that alone gave people on the right permission to start backing away. Well, he's older, whatever it is. But I think this is a rude wake-up call for J.D. Vance, because if he's on the top of that ticket, they needed Trump on the top of the ticket to win things. JD's not going to win them anything. I don't think people are going to give a flying flip about JD. And maybe his only hope will be to hook up with Erica. Erica Kirk. I've seen the rumors, but he may have to go there. And I don't even think even then will work. But think about the Epstein files now. Think about how dangerous they would be for now. Mike Johnson's whole job will be to make sure that those don't get out. But I'm also seeing some rumors that they are much worse for Trump than was originally led on. And I think that part of what happened the other night was the Epstein files. I think people are pissed that he has not done the things that he said he would do. They really thought he was going to come up and get all the bad guys. And now it's just looking like he's the bad guy. So you have the Epstein files still lingering there in the background. Mike Johnson still hasn't sworn in the congresswoman from Arizona so that they can't be seen. How long can he hold out on that? But now maybe it would be a good thing, because it would expose Trump and kind of let them off the hook, oh, we had no idea. Except that you wouldn't let it come out for a year. They just look bad in every direction. And then trying to say oh, well, we're going to run on affordability. Now, how can you run on affordability when you have the president saying it's the best economy that's ever been? All the prices are coming down. The Thanksgiving dinner is going to be 25% less than it was last year. And the inflation rate is at 3%, which it's been since he got in here. But from people that I've seen online that keep track of every penny they spend, they believe that inflation is actually much higher. I don't know. That bag of candy I looked at the other day looked pretty damn high. A little tiny bag was on clearance for $11, and it sold for $16. So numbers aren't matching up. We just had the worst jobs report that we've had since 2003. We lost 153,000 jobs in October. So there just is no good news. There's no good news on the horizon. It's like he did that plane of him dropping poop on everyone. Now it's like he's dangling from the plane, and they're going to just get ready to just drop him. And you got the Supreme Court who's going to take the power of making the emergency whatever to do the tariffs. It's all going downhill. I also wonder, will the Supreme Court start to pull away as well? Because they know when the Democrats get in there, hopefully they pack the courts. If they don't pack the courts, that is one of those instances where we riot. I'm not kidding. We have to pack the courts. We cannot do that again. So we have to win big in the House and the Senate when we have those chances to do that, with real people that aren't going to backstab us, Sinema, Manchin. But, I would expect soon, because I don't know how they run out and talk about affordability. They know that that's what won this election. Well, it's that, but it's just Trump. But here's my other question. How do you think the ICE rates are going to go when they start turning on Trump? Like, I feel like they can all back it up or act like it's all fine because they want to stay in Trump's good graces and Stephen Miller's good graces. But when Trump's gone, Stephen Miller will have no power. And he's really a lame duck president now as it is. So I have to wonder if the ICE raids will back off a little bit, because that is also part of why he lost. I saw interviews with people that voted for him because they wanted the deportations. But then they were like, that's not, I thought they were going to go get the bad guys, and they're destroying families, and this isn't okay. And we gained back the areas that had a lot of Mexicans or just even black and brown people. We gained the areas that we lost during the election and then some. So I think a lot of that has to do with not just the economy, but also what they're seeing with ICE. So all the things that he ran on are, I just think, are going to flip on him. I think all these ICE videos are just going to look worse and worse and worse. And how do you keep protecting that? Because you're essentially just protecting Trump and Stephen Miller when you do. So they are in a clusterfuck situation far sooner than they thought they would be. And again, this is why they have tried to move so quickly, is just in case either Trump's body or brain gave out or we ran into this situation. But I think they've been lying to him about his polling numbers. And I think they lied to themselves about all of it. I think Mike Johnson has got to be doing hard drugs at night to survive this. I know he lives with a preacher or minister in a home in Washington, D.C., and maybe they're praying together every night, but like, they better pray a lot harder because they are in big trouble.